What's going on today? I'm going to show you how to remove the dash out of my 2004 Chevy 2500 HD. The dash should be the same for all 99 to 2006 or 2007 if you still have this body style. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll keep trying to make more how-to videos of some things as difficult as removing a dash can be. So as you can see, it's pretty well stripped. I have some stuff off already, but that's just all the easy stuff on the dash. I've never done one of these dashes. I've never looked it up on Google or YouTube how to tear them apart, so this is exactly how I'm going to be thinking for my thought process to remove this dash. I do have a video on the 88 to 98 style trucks. Actually, it's more so the 95 to 98 style dash that I removed, but if you want to check out that video of removing the dash, I imagine it's very similar to how these trucks are. Chevy, pretty simple stuff. They don't really overcomplicate it too much. So, instrument cluster bezel has these clips on the back. Just pry on it gently, try not to mark up your dash, and it just unsnaps pretty easy. Those clips will go into these holes all the way around, and when you get that off, you can pull your cluster out. This one unplugged, plug like this, just push that clip down, and there's 4 screws that were holding it in. I already got all the kick panels and everything off. I get the doors out. Somebody came and scooped up my blower motor, so I don't think that's in the way anyways, but I think my next plan of attack is going to be remove this remove this glove box. Well, I don't see anything behind it, so I'm just gonna do the easiest thing. Sometimes the simplest answer is the right answer. I'm just gonna remove these bolts in here. Looks like 2 10s and 2 15s. 2 Phillips screws right there. I popped those out because it looks, if I look in here, there's a bolt back here, so I'm wondering if I pop this vent out, I'll maybe be able to see that. This vent out, just take a flat blade or whatever, pops it real easy. There's a Phillips head screw there, so I decided to pop this one, a Phillips head screw. So I'm thinking with this plastic bit all comes off, but then the skeleton is still to the truck. So I'm thinking those 15mm head bolts are for the skeleton, but the 10s were for the plastic dash part itself. If you look up in there, it looks like the handle extends in and attached to like that skeleton. There's like a little white button, so I ended up pushing it and pulling that, and it came out easy. So there's a button on the other side, push that, and let's pull out this holy shit handle. So the handle comes out. Lucky for me, I've already torn apart the interior, so all the A-pillar garnish moldings, all the trim is already off, so you want to get that out of your way. I think I got everything out on the passenger side, so I'm just going to start working my way across and finish off on the driver's side. It makes it easy when there's no interior to take this thing out. I'm just going to take apart everything. I'm going to take the vents out, take the radio out. The radio and everything, and the heater and AC controls are all 7mm screws all the way along. I'm going to take all the vents, radio, buttons, switches, everything out, and remove all the screws from the dash, because I think I am right when I say that it is just like a plastic cover that goes over top of the dash skeleton. Okay, I lied a little bit. To get this vent out, there's a screw right behind there. So really, to change this vent, I mean, you could either notch it out because it's all hidden, but you kind of have to take the whole dash pad off. So out, this one had an antenna, it just pulls out. Push these tabs in, and it unhooks, pull it out. Pull this guy out. Again, push that tab in, push the gray tab in, pull the wires out. Sometimes with these connections, you see there's like a little tab right there in the middle. Well, when it's plugged in, right, and you're trying to pull it out and you're trying to push down the little clip, it gets hung up on that tab. So sometimes it helps to push the connection further in, then put the clip down so that it can bypass it, then pull it over. Moved all the 7mm screws all around along the bottom, everything. The dash pad is got to be a separate piece because how else do you get to that without tearing the whole dash apart? But this guy, I just grabbed in this vent here, and I pulled it kind of up and out, and it popped. So this guy must be, oh yeah, this guy will come out as soon as I remove those 2 screws. So let me get those guys out. Phillips head screws are out on the driver's side. Now this guy should just pop out like that. I'll show you what the backside looks like. I wonder, those guys must be the clips holding it in, yeah. So those guys, zoom in here, they slide into these clips along the whole windshield. That's got to be right there where that thing slides in, and then by the instrument bezel right here, there's some clips that's holding it in, or I guess on the airbag side, and there's more screws on the driver's side. But yeah, here's what the bottom side of this dash panel looks like. Dash pad out. I have this thing unbolted on the bottom. There's sort of a clip. That clip's missing, but it's a metal clip holding it in there. Call that a knee pad. But yeah, you also got to remove the e-brake. It's just a 10mm bolt. It's really easy. Undo that screw up there. Vent falls out. Now you can unsnap and unhook everything. On this side, probably the same. Yeah. Beauty thing about this truck, somebody came in here and tried fixing it. Yeah, 2 wires on the inside in the fuse box were fried from a mouse, and this guy's like, oh yeah, let me just try and hook up new switches, but there's no power in the dash, so I don't know how hooking up new switches here is gonna make everything work. But hey, you missed some wires, but I don't think that's how that's fixed. But if you would have just popped up the fuse box, saw the nest that was in there, found the 2 wires that had shorted out, easy fix. So that's probably the main issue, is going to be a cracked dash pad. that comes off easy. All that's pretty simple. But if you're looking to remove the rest of the dash, I'm just going to go back on the passenger side here. Any 7mm screw, I'm going to take out. All the 7s are out. There's here, up there. No, I lied. Glove box obviously needs to come out. Oh, that's the wrong, that's a 10. Why that is in there, I don't know. But yeah, get these guys. Get that glove box out of the way. Or not. Well, it's out of the way enough. But yeah, pulling the airbag out. There's 2 10mm head bolts holding it in, right there, and right, where is it? Right up here. When you're playing with the airbags, disconnect the battery, let it sit at least 10-15 minutes before you pop it out, and it should theoretically slide out. I think you might need 2 hands on this one. The passenger side glove box knee panel, there's these metal clips holding on to here. Yeah, I just gripped it and ripped it. Nothing broke. It sounded bad, but nothing broke, I think. Yeah, so there's another piece of the dash gone. Still a little stumped about this airbag, but when I took those 10s out earlier, it's made this nice and loose, and it looks like it's attached to this bar, which is attached to the firewall. So I think my next step, remove these 2 10s. Actually, I think I'm going to remove all the 10s along the firewall on that bracket. Yeah, don't forget to be organized when you are taking stuff apart, especially like a dash. Don't do what I'm doing. I'm not putting the dash back in, I'm just taking it out to make a video, and maybe I could sell some parts off of it. But label all your bolts, be as specific as you'd like about where they go. Like the 4 bolts up here, that hold this bracket. So maybe you say firewall bracket, 10mm head bolts, and you get a container with separate compartments, and you put a piece of tape, write that down, and put the 4 bolts in there. So when you put it together, you know what they are. So if it takes you another month to get back to the job, you have an idea. Take pictures, take videos, refer to my video, like, comment, subscribe. You know how it is, the YouTube thing, help the algorithm. Yeah, I'm gonna remove these 10s right here. There's 2 7s in behind the cluster. Take those guys out. Give this thing a shake because it feels kind of loose. I think the passenger side, yeah, you can see this brace here. That's the skeleton, I'm thinking, of this dash. So there's dash pad, the knee pads, and then I guess the middle part, I don't even know what you'd call it, just in between the pad and I guess this bulky skeleton frame there. It looks like something's holding me up over underneath the steering wheel. So there's this guy. He was kind of up in there. I kind of just took it out without showing, but there's 4 studs with nuts on them. 10mm nut. And it just kind of falls out easy to get to. And there's this bracket that it was underneath the one side here, hold with those 10mm nuts, but on the other side there's 2 13mm head bolts. And I'm going to do the same with this bracket. It looks like there's 2 10s in there holding this guy on. I think I might just take that guy off for fun. So I took those brackets out thinking maybe they're hanging me up, but nope. Simplest answer, right in the middle here. Boom, 10mm nut. Pop that guy out, gave it a little tug, and this whole thing is, I think, about to come out. Yeah, we'll see what happens next. Just unplug some wiring, running some wiring back. This one I'll have to unclip because it looks like it runs behind this piece. That should be for your cluster. The antenna runs out through here, clips down there, 3 of them. Just pull that antenna out. I got some wiring here. Not sure where that goes, but I know this guy, he's running that way, so I gotta unplug that guy and these 2 little guys. Those wires plug into that box. Just unclip the box from here and pull that out because it looks like that wiring is tucked in behind everything. It looks like, right, and then find the yellow plug. That's for your airbag. Pull the pin and unclip it. I need 2 hands, I think, for this guy. The rain sensor that goes up near the firewall on the dash. Don't do what I was just doing, testing the strength of the wire. Unclip it, run it back, and let's see what I got now. So I got this whole thing loose. Can't get it on the steering wheel. I think I have to pull the column out. But anyways, if you can figure out a way to get it around the steering wheel, go ahead. If you have to pull the steering column out, I'm pulling mine out anyways. That might be easier, but this whole thing, once I ran all the wiring back, is as loose as all can be. And that's really it. So I just made a quick video on removing the steering column out of these trucks. Super simple, didn't take very long. Go check that out and then come back to this video, or finish this video, go watch that. Figure out everything you need to know, and I'll have the dash pulled out. Recommend a helping hand, but I was a little rammy, didn't break anything, but just ran all my wiring back. Label your wiring when you're putting this all together, but yeah, essentially all your air venting and air ductwork is on this piece, and then really just the bones of the operation, which isn't too difficult. Like, there's some 15s there, up there, and that thing would come off easy. But heater core. Now you can change that. Done. So there you have it. Dash is pulled. Here it sits in all its glory. A little more complicated than the older body style trucks, but still super, super easy. For those who are going to be doing everything, yeah, there's just a bunch of bigger bolts holding on the structure of it all. Wiring, I know wiring's a big thing. This wiring harness sits on top of all of this, so heater core is easily accessible right now, easy to change. But the firewall, this is where the wiring. If you don't have a fender on, it makes it, and a motor and everything, makes it a lot easier. But here's all the plugins, label, everything. It's all just one big honking harness. So really find the meat of the harness, trace it back, find the different areas, unplug stuff that would be going to the fuse box. There's another whatever that's for, right? So that's kind of what the wiring looks like. Label everything. So if you unplug it, I did on this, not going to be needing to know that, but 2 and 2 go together, 6 and 6 go together, 1 and 1, so on and so forth. So I know when I put it back together, oh, 1 and 1 plugs click in, done and done. And actually, there was just that one more bolt up there. Took it out, and this bar is even separate, so it makes it even easier to gain access to the heater core here. So a little more information. If you like this video, hit the like button, comment on the video, and most importantly, if you subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate that. Definitely helps, not only are you subscribing, but it helps the algorithm to get pushed to other people to check out my content. Really trying to grow this channel. My goal is getting 500 subscribers. So I'm hoping to hit 500 subscribers as soon as possible. Yeah, I'm hoping to put out more content as well. I'm rebuilding a 97 Chevy 1500. It's 4x4. I got some parts. Here's an update on that. I got some parts coming from Arizona to Saskatoon. So I got some GM original rust-free parts out of Arizona. And if you know anything about Saskatchewan, you can't really find quality rust-free parts. I painted a box for a guy who was rust-free, and like 8 months later started bubbling out. So it's like even rust-free around here, I don't trust. So I'm paying the big bucks to get it all shipped up here from Arizona. But yeah, that truck will be pretty sweet when I'm done. But yeah, check out my other dash video, progress on the build, other how-to videos on stuff. I got some bumper removal videos, some painting videos. So go check those all out and subscribe.